Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Jordan Davis Podcast. I am your host, Jordan Davis. On today's episode, I'll be talking about a whole bunch of DC movie news, from Snyder Cut, from Michael Keaton coming back as Batman, and even the big event in August, DC Fandome. Kind of a weird name, but that's what it's called. But I'm going to talk about all about it. So let's get right into it. So I think the first thing we need to talk about is Michael Keaton as Batman. I mean, who thought that we would ever see Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne / Batman? Now, I think he's going to be more as Bruce Wayne, to be honest with you, because I don't see Michael Keaton getting into any kind of Batman suit. I really don't. I think he's going to be a retired Batman and an old Bruce Wayne. So, if you don't know about the rumors, let me tell you. It was rumored yesterday that he's going to be in the new Flash movie called Flashpoint, off of the new DCEU kind of universe going forward. And the Flashpoint thing is kind of interesting because that's a comic book series that Barry Allen goes back into the past to save his mother, but by him doing that, changes all of reality and all of everything that happened into universe that we knew before. So he has to go back and fix it. And in that story, we had Thomas Wayne as Batman, and he was a really intense Batman that killed all the time and had no problem with it. But from what we're hearing in this Flashpoint movie, this version of it at least, that there will not be Thomas Wayne, but it will be Michael Keaton's Batman from the Tim Burton movies. So I think that alone, it would just be interesting. But before we get ahead of ourselves, I have to say that he's in talks. Now, I also been hearing that it's moving along pretty good, that everything is going pretty well, but it's still 50-50. It could go good, it could go bad. But I still think Thomas Wayne is going to be their backup plan if Keaton doesn't work out. But if they can get Keaton back and put him in this world that has Superman, that has Wonder Woman, that has Shazam, that has Cyborg, that has Aquaman, it has all of the Justice League heroes that we all know of. That would be so cool. I mean, I never thought in a million years that we would get this in any way. And especially, I never thought they would do a multiverse for their films. I mean, it's a big thing to do, but if you can do it right, wow, that's big. And if you can do that, you have found a way to be different from Marvel, but also say, hey, our movies in a weird way are connected as well. It's in a different universe, but it's still connected. It's still in the DC extended multiverse film universe. So I think that's just absolutely astonishing and kind of game-changing if it works out. And you kind of make Michael Keaton kind of the Nick Fury going to each movie. He can pop up in any movie. To be perfectly honest with you, he can pop up with any movie. And if you're lucky enough, you can finally do a Batman Beyond movie. Because a lot of people have been wanting that, and that would be so cool if you can do a Batman Beyond movie. And I think if you can do a Miles Morales movie, I'm pretty sure you can do a Batman Beyond Terry McGinnis movie. And I still think it can make a lot of money. If you put Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne, tell everyone he is mentoring this young new version of Batman, and I think it could be really, really cool and fun and how they can do it. So, and to be perfectly honest with you, I think this thing that could actually happen, this multiverse, I think this concept can really catch them up to the MCU. This new concept of multiverse, that every single movie is connected in some way in the multiverse of DC, that could just do many, many things. And it really tells Marvel, okay, your move. What are you going to do next? Because DC this month has just pulling out all the stops to get DC fans excited, because from the Snyder Cut, which we're going to talk about that, no doubt, about the Snyder Cut, and also just talking about DC fandom or Fandome, gotta give it to DC. They're really pulling out all of the stops so they can give all of the fans what they want. And I really think the reason why this DC Fandome is happening, because E3 was canceled and Comic Con was basically canceled, because the Comic Con, when we say San Diego Comic Con, is pretty much a Zoom panel. You know, I mean, it's all going to be at home. It's all going to be virtual, and it's very smart of DC to be like, we're pretty popular enough, we're pretty big enough to do our own event. So what about we do our own event concerning comics, TV shows, movies, and all of that of a virtual interaction for DC fans. And while doing panels virtually and giving out news virtually, so hey, I think this is just going to be a great and exciting thing to look forward to. And I know a lot of people are going to have a lot of theories on how you're going to bring in Michael Keaton. And there are some great theories and there are some great ways to do it. But until he actually signs on the dotted line, we just have to keep it as a rumor. But it's pretty exciting. It's pretty cool of the possibility of Michael Keaton coming back. So I really think we just have to wait and see if DC can pull it off, if Warner Brothers can pull this off, or AT&T can pull it off, or whatever. We just have to wait and see what happens, and if it happens, hey, you have me excited. You have me want to see that Flashpoint movie so much, and it's gonna be one of my most anticipated movies whenever that movie comes out, because the Flash movie was supposed to come out this year. So whenever it does come out, it's going to be one of my most anticipated movies. So that's going to be exciting to see how this all turns out and what actual more DC news is going to come out, because you never know. Never say never in Hollywood in superhero movies. So now that we talked about a lot about Michael Keaton and all of that, let's get into the Snyder Cut. Now, I've had some mixed feelings about the Snyder Cut. It's because I want Zack Snyder's vision to come to life. I want him to finish his vision of what he had for his universe, for his world of these characters of Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and all of that. And also at the same time, it's like there is sometimes I does not always agree with him, because I do like Man of Steel. Some things I don't really care for, but I've gotten over that. At first I did not like Batman v Superman because I saw the one in theater, and I did not like that at all. Believe me, at all. But when I saw his version of it, I was like, okay, that's good. I thought it was good. I don't think it came close to Man of Steel or the movies after that, like Shazam, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and all of that. But as time went on, more of his concepts and more of his storyboards and all of that, I was like, huh, That's very interesting. I'm very interested to see how his vision would end. What was he trying to tell? And I was always very interested. And other people were out there, oh no, I don't want to see the Snyder Cut. He's a bad filmmaker. He's a bad storyteller. I think that's hard to say because we never got the full version of what the kind of story that he was trying to tell. And now there was rumors and, speculation of what he was trying to say, anything like that. So I really didn't listen to that. But now that we have the Snyder Cut, we're going to get that Snyder Cut and we're going to get it on HBO Max. I think it should be very interesting of how it all turns out, because if Zack Snyder's Justice League is a success, I think we could get part 2 of it, because we're going to get part 1 because there's supposed to be 2 parts of this. 2 parts of Justice League. So I think if this is a success, if this brings tons of subscribers, which I think it will, because Zack Snyder he released a small clip or teaser and it got like 1 million views. So I think everyone wants to see this Justice League, because the Justice League that we got in theaters, it had its moments, but it was not good. So, I mean, I'm very curious to see what Zack Snyder really had for us. Because Zack Snyder said we were telling a Superman story with the Justice League as a supporting characters. Now, I may be wrong with that, but you could tell me in the comments if I'm right or wrong. But I think that was just very interesting, just to have a Superman kind of arc and storyline through 5 movies with the Justice League being supporting characters. And I want to see that. Now, there were some, rumors about him turning evil. I think that's kind of thing I don't want. Superman doesn't need to be evil. Now, he has been over mind control. Maybe that's what they're going to do. My thing is, I just don't want him to be mind controlled very long, because heroes being mind controlled is it's kind of doesn't do it for me. For instance, Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom, he was under mind control, but he wasn't under mind control very long. So it fit for me. I thought that was good. It's like, don't have him be under mind control very long. I hope they don't have Superman like that. I don't want him to be evil Superman like for most of the movie, because in the Justice League that was in theaters, we barely got any Superman. We got we got some good parts of Superman, but we barely got any because he was dead and everything and all of that. But if we can get some really cool moments, more moments as the Superman we all love and know, hey, I'll check it out. I haven't really judged Zack Snyder's kind of vision yet, because it's not complete, and I think it would be very interesting to see how this all goes. I really do. And especially what this Zack Snyder Justice League would do for Henry Cavill in his future as Superman. I always loved Henry Cavill as Superman. I just wish that we could get the Superman that we all know and love, and finally get a movie of him with that. Because we all know, for people that know this, Henry Cavill loves the Superman character so much. He even said if he could be Superman for the rest of his acting career, he would be Superman. And he has no problem with that. And I think that's pretty cool, that he loves that character so much. And, we just have to wait and see, we know he's going to be in cameos, and he probably is going to be in Shazam 2, and probably face off against Black Adam in Shazam 3. But yeah, it would just be very interesting of how this Snyder Cut would change the perception of Superman if they would really, really want more Superman. Because let's be honest, we have Batman all over the place. I think we can have another Superman movie with Henry Cavill. I think that's pretty much possible if you can have like dozens and dozens of Batmans in the DC universe. So I think that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to how Superman is portrayed in Zack's vision of Justice League. So yeah, I think I'm very interested to see how that goes, because it's going to be really interesting how the Zack Snyder universe really concludes. And yeah, I'm very interested in all of this. I really am. So yeah, now let's go into our last topic of today. So I talked about a little bit earlier about DC fandom and it's actually going to be. So I was thinking, what could they actually announce? What big things could they give us at this DC fandom? Because I know they're going to be talking about movies, TV shows, comics, and games. So I'm expecting probably the new Batman game to be announced, and there's rumors about a Suicide Squad kind of game floating around that might be announced. But definitely a new Batman game. I mean, bunch of Batman stuff just going bonkers in the next couple of months. But if everything falls through with the Michael Keaton thing, I think that's going to be announced. I think we're going to learn more about Flashpoint, or more about Black Adam, Shazam, what everything is going on there. Maybe Henry Cavill will be announced, will be in Shazam 2. I also want to learn more about Black Adam. I want to know what's the vision for Black Adam and all of that. Like maybe some concept art, maybe something like that. Maybe like a teaser poster they can release, because I think they're going to be releasing a lot of stuff. We might be able to see a first look at James Gunn's Suicide Squad. I think that would be very interesting because they finished filming, and I'm sure you could put together a trailer. So I don't think that's very hard, and we might hear some more about it on the TV side. But I think most people are really interested on what's going to happen on the movie side with this Flashpoint and with Superman and with Batman, with Robert Pattinson and the Batman and all of that. So I do expect that we will get a Snyder Cut trailer at DC Fandome. I'm expecting that. Maybe we'll get a trailer for the Suicide Squad, but I think we're just gonna get like announcements and a couple of trailers. But I do think those trailers could be very big, and those announcements could be even bigger. That's what I think. DC is really on a good momentum right here that they need to capitalize on. That the 2020 summer could be their summer with all the announcements and everything. It could be their summer. It could be 2020 could be DC's year by doing these announcements right and getting people really, really excited for 2021 and Wonder Woman. Oh yeah, I forgot. Wonder Woman 84 trailer, you're probably going to see that. So I think that could be cool. as well. So yeah, a lot of things to get excited about. Very, very excited about. Because as Marvel has been staying really, really quiet, DC has just been, just banging the drums with the Snyder Cut, with Flashpoint, with Michael Keaton, with Superman coming back, and everything. They just been, news. They've been keeping all the DC fans just talking and talking, and that's what you want to do for your fans. You just want to keep them talking and talking and talking. So you really keep the buzz about that, and especially with this DC fandom, you want that buzz to keep on going and going as long as you can. So yeah, so I'm excited for all of this stuff. It should be really, really cool to finally see, a plan with DC, because everyone has really said, oh, DC doesn't have a plan. They don't have a clear set plan like the MCU does, like Kevin Feige does. It always has like a 5-year plan he sticks to. Well, whoever is in charge, whoever came up with this plan for the DC multiverse, for their film universe, hey, you got to give them props. You got to give them props for thinking this way and even trying to get Michael Keaton back. And whatever this Flashpoint movie is going to be, and how it's written, the script, if Michael Keaton is even think about coming back as Batman, wow, this script for the Flash really, really has to be good. It really does. For him to even want to come back, for him to even negotiate wanting to come back as an old Bruce Wayne / Batman. So give Warner Brothers, give AT&T, give DC props for what they're doing right now. So it's really gonna be interesting and fun and exciting, and all the words you can think about that you're having as a DC fan. It's gonna be really, really interesting. So yeah, that's all I have to say about the DC news that's been going on. But I want to thank you all for listening to my podcast. And I want to thank you all for taking your time just to listen to me, to listen to my voice, just to talk about everything DC. Because even though I'm a Marvel fan, my heart still bleeds DC fan. So I want to thank you all for listening today. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to hear more. So, again, thank you for listening to my podcast, and I hope that you have an awesome and blessed day. Bye.